Hello students, I am back for one more video of Applied English and it is a listening video. Students, in my previous video, I have given a doubt solving that is based on the assessment task. And this is video number 14 students, and here also I am going to give a doubt solving video of the assessment task of the previous one. Students, in the previous video of mine, I have given an assessment task. Based on that, I am going to give a doubt solving. I am going to take only part 1. There are total 10 questions we have. We are going to see what answer is supposed to be, and when we discuss, definitely you will come to know. And I hope that you have done your listening. And again, you are going to do listening for the second time and come to know that how much you get. Students, we will discuss all these questions. I have written questions 1 to 3. We will discuss what answer is supposed to be. This is made on multiple choice because there are a lot of answers that you can see, and you need to select any one of. You need to select any 3. And when we listen to the conversation very carefully, then only you are able to get the correct one. We will do this listening for the second time. I am going to do along with you and write your answers in an answer sheet, and after completion of the listening task, we will discuss what answer is supposed to be or should be. Students, this is Saraswati Shishukunj-Borsad, and this is video number 14 of listening task, and this is Applied English. Students, without delay, I am going to play listening track for you of the part 1 Applied English. Try to get your answers as I am going to do for the first time, and you are going to do the second time. And let me know how much you get, and then we will discuss about all questions of part 1. Without delay, students, start listening.
Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. Now look at Part 1.
Part 1.
You will hear 2 women talking about house cleaning. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 3. Listen carefully to the first part of the conversation and answer questions 1 to 3.
Well, Jill, I'm glad you had a nice holiday. We'll have to try it ourselves sometime.
Yes, Kate, you really should. I'll give you a contact number for the hotel we stayed in. Anyway, I must be...
Oh, I know what I meant to ask you. Sorry, it was about a cleaner.
Oh, yes?
Yes, we've been talking about getting somebody to come in and help out. You had a cleaner not long ago, didn't you?
I thought you said having a cleaner was a waste of money, that you'd never pay somebody to do what you can do perfectly well yourself.
Well, yes, maybe. But things have changed. Things are really hectic for Greg at work all of a sudden. He's never home till after 8. I end up doing everything. The house looks like such a mess. I never get time to tidy up before I go out to work, and in the evenings I just about manage to cook and wash up.
Well, you shouldn't be the one doing everything if you're working as well. That's not fair, is it?
I think Greg's just shattered. Oh, to be fair, he's pretty domesticated. We've always pretty much shared the chores. It's just a temporary thing, I think. I hope. We're basically both trying to juggle too much. The last thing we want to do at the weekends is start cleaning. We want to relax a bit.
It's not because all the neighbours have got a cleaner, is it?
You know me too well. I guess there is a bit of that. I feel like the poor relation when I tell them I do all the cleaning myself. They can't believe I fit in so much.
Never worry about what other people think.
No. Anyway, one way or another we need a cleaner. Well, as long as it's not too expensive, that is.
I don't think it's expensive, and it's money well spent. We only stopped having Tricia come in every week because I was off work with the baby, so I could do most of it myself.
So how much is it?
Well, Tricia was £8 an hour. I can't say that's what everyone charges.
That isn't bad, is it? It's less than I thought. Oh, well, I think we can run to £8. How many hours did she do?
4 hours a week.
Well, that sounds about right. Can you give me her number then?
Oh, sorry, no. She's not around anymore. She went back to Wales. I think it was Wales anyway, a couple of months ago.
Oh, no. That's a shame.
Wait a minute, though. We've had some leaflets through the door recently. Let me see if I can find one. I put one here by the phone, I'm sure.
You now have some time to look at questions 4 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the conversation and answer questions 4 to 10.
Ah, yes, here we are. It's a company. They're called Dusters.
Dusters?
Yes, as in people who dust. You have to phone Abby on...
Is that Abby with EY?
No, it's ABBY.
OK.
And it's a local number, 650-918.
650-918. OK, got it.
They do ironing and can look after your garden too, apparently.
Ironing would be helpful. I loathe ironing. So, do they say how much it is?
Yes, it's £9.50 an hour. That's for all the different services.
£9.50? A bit more expensive then.
They do a spring clean for £45.
So that's one big clean. Do they say how many hours that is?
No, it just says spring clean. I guess it's 5 hours, so it's a bit cheaper than 5 hours of cleaning would be normally.
Yes, probably. That might be a good idea to start off with.
You'll like this too, Kate. They can use organic products if you want them to.
Oh, yes, I'd prefer that. I don't like using strong chemicals. They're so bad for the environment. OK, I'll give them a call. Thanks for that.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Students, I hope you have done your listening for the second time and I have done my listening. Students, I hope you get all correct answers that whatever you have written of part 1, 1 to 10. I always mention in my videos, students, that you need to keep in mind the instructions. Before you start listening to the conversation of questions 1 to 3, you have some time to look at questions 1, 2, 3. So students, when the time is given, what you need to do? You need to write down, you need to see all the questions. That means there are multiple choice questions. You need to read. And if you think that this is a particular answer or keyword, what you need to do? You need to underline. Okay, here particular answer is a cleaner. So that is the keyword. Second, her husband is especially busy at work. So you can write here, this is a and busy. Okay, these are the keywords. When time is given to you, what you need to do? You need to read, remember and underline the keywords. There has been recently damage to the house. Okay, now what is the keyword damage? Her husband is unwilling to do housework. Okay, unwilling what? Housework. Okay, then she and her husband cannot cope up with all their responsibilities. So cannot cope up and responsibility. So these are the two words that we have, the keywords. Other people, she knows, have a cleaner. Okay, so other people, and again it is a cleaner. Students, the last option that we have, the price of cleaning has dropped. Okay, so here price and drop. So these are the keywords, but you need to do in a very quick manner. Why? Because time is given very less, and within a particular time you need to read all the options and you need to underline the keywords. Okay, now this is based on a conversation between two women. They are talking about house cleaning. One is Kat and the second one is Greg's wife. Okay, so her name is Jen. They are talking about house cleaning and what conversation goes on. When you listen to the conversation very attentively, you come to know that what they are talking about. Okay, let's read the question. Which of the following reasons does get mentioned for waiting a cleaner? Now, what are the reasons that mentioned in the conversation? And you need to take anything, right? Because here questions 1, 2, 3. Okay, a cleaner can do a more thorough job than she can. Okay, because Greg and his wife are very busy and they cannot cope up with their responsibilities. Okay, so what the answer should be? Her husband is especially busy at work, right? Because her husband comes home very late, and she says that my husband is never at home after 8. So after 8 o'clock also her husband is not at home. He is very busy. And what is the correct answer? Her option is her husband is especially very busy at work. So due to his busy schedule, he cannot be at place or he cannot help her. So what is the correct option? Her husband is very busy at work. Okay. Then there has been recently damage to the house. No. Her husband is unwilling to do housework. Okay. Now this option cannot be. Why unwilling? Because when Greg comes at home, he is completely shattered. He is completely fatigued, tired. He cannot do further work. So her husband is unwilling to do housework. That means there is no questions arise. Okay. She and her husband cannot cope up with their responsibilities. Why? Because both working and they cannot cope up with the responsibility. So correct option is she. Okay. The other people she knows have a cleaner and the price of the cleaning has dropped out. So some of the options are not mentioned in the conversation when you listen very attentively, but you get that the other people she knows have a cleaner. So these are the very 7 to 8 minute conversation that you can hear. But finally, students, when you do listening very carefully, you get the 3 options that her husband is especially busy at work and she and her husband cannot cope up with the responsibilities. Why? Because you do lot of work. And the third option, other people she knows have a cleaner. Okay, so now other people knows about cleaner. Yes. So these are the 3 options that you get of the questions 1, 2, 3. Now we are going to move to further of questions 4 to 10, and I will write down the questions here and then we will discuss. Students, now what we need to do, the first thing that we need to listen to the instructions very carefully. Now what is the instruction that we have here? No more than 2 words or a number. So your answer should not be more than 2 words. and it is only a number. Okay, it is considered as a one number. Always keep in mind. I have mentioned in my previous video. Okay, now the conversation goes on and they are talking about house cleaning. Okay, and questions number 4 to 10. It is clearly mentioned before you start listening to the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 4 to 10. And what you need to do? You need to read. Here you don't have to circle the keywords. But if you wish, you can, because here it is given telephone number, and yes, you need to write. So you can have some ideas when you go through those questions in given time. Students, now when they are talking about cleaner, reliable home cleaning, okay, what the conversation goes on and they are talking about, okay. Now it's the name of the company called Duster. You can clearly hear. So what is the correct answer? The name of the company is Dusters, and you need to write here. Okay. And you can call on Abby, and immediately the lady replies, it's a EE, not it's E, but A double B, while that you can listen. Okay. Now, and you can call on this number 650918. Okay. So it is clearly not 0, but it is O. And what are the top qualities? She says, yes, the cleaner can do ironing and gardening as well. And she replies, yes, I love gardening. Okay, and the correct answer that you can get it, that is ironing. Garden care. Now, what is the R? What is the R for R? So it's a 9.50. But you cannot hear you hear that 950. 950 hours it cannot be. So what supposed to be? It is 9.50 per hour. Okay, that is the dollar. And thorough spring clean, and thorough spring clean is $45. How much? It is clearly mentioned in the audio that you can see or you can hear. It's a 45. Okay. Now it's a organic products that available. What type of products available? Organic products available. Okay. So students, we have discussed 4 to 10 questions, and very easy to get answers of these questions. I hope students you have finished your listening and got 10 out of 10. I usually give an assessment task or a test for your practice, and here I am going to give an assessment task or a test for your practice of part 1 only, and try to get good band of applied English and let me know. As you know that you get answer key the next day, and check your answers and let me know that where you get confused of getting answers. And students, I am going to give an assessment task. As I mentioned before, what you need to do listening, and your listening track is here. Start listening.
The test is in 4 parts, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and Part 4. Now look at Part 1.
Part 1. Part 1.
You'll hear someone booking transport for a trip. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 and 2. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 and 2. Good morning, Burnham Coaches. Sarah speaking. How can I help you?
Yes. Good morning. I'm a teacher at the Down Language School. We have a bit of a problem, and I was wondering if you could help us out.
What is the problem exactly?
Well, We normally take our students on an excursion at the end of their course. But unfortunately, the coach firm we normally use has let us down. It seems they've gone out of business.
I'm sorry to hear that. I suppose you are looking for a replacement.
Well, yes. We won't need a very large coach, actually. There will be 30 students and 4 teachers.
So that's 34 in all. And what dates did you have in mind?
The last Saturday and Sunday of this month. That's the 28th and 29th.
The 28th and 29th. Does that mean you are planning to stay somewhere overnight?
That's right. Actually, we want to do the same excursion that we do every year. We usually visit Stonehenge, Salisbury, and stay overnight in Bath. It's a historical tour, really.
It sounds interesting. Let me just see what we have available. Oh dear, I'm afraid all our coaches are booked out for the 28th. It's the busiest time of the year for us, actually.
I was afraid that would be a problem. But you have a coach available for the 29th?
Yes, we do. And it's available for the 30th as well, if that's any help to you.
I'm afraid not. Sunday is the last day. The students go home on Monday. I think we'll just have to change our plans a bit and leave out Salisbury. It's a shame, but I don't think we can fit in all 3 places in one day.
So you would like to book the coach for the 29th, visiting Stonehenge and Bath, is that right?
Yes, I think so.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 3 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 3 to 10. Right, I just need a few details, sir.
OK. My name is Paul Scott.
S-C-O-T?
It's double T, actually.
I'm sorry. And it's the Down Language School. Could you give me the address for that, Mr. Scott?
Yes, it's Down House, Hill Street, Brighton. Do you need the postcode?
No, that's not necessary, but I do need a contact number.
Of course. The number for the school secretary is 01273 512 634. You can contact her if you need to speak to anyone.
Right, and what time would you like the coach to pick you up?
Well, I think we'll have to make an early start. Would 7:30 be all right?
Yes, no problem at all. What time do you want to be back?
Oh, any time between 10 and 11 will be all right. Not later than 11, though.
Right, I'll make a note of that. 11 p.m. latest. There's just one more thing I need to know. Presumably, you'll be visiting Stonehenge first. How long do you want to stay there?
Well, we normally stay about an hour. The main objective of the excursion is for the students to see the Georgian architecture in Bath, really.
Yes, Bath is lovely, isn't it? I was there myself a couple of years ago. I thought the Royal Crescent was absolutely stunning. I hadn't realised how large it is. Well, I think that's all I need to know, Mr. Scott. Thank you for booking with us.
Just a minute. There's one thing you seem to have forgotten. How much will this cost?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I was thinking about Bath. Just bear with me a moment. Yes, it's a round trip of 300 miles and a total time of 16 hours for the driver. For a 45-seater coach, that will be a total of £500, including tax and insurance.
Do we have to have such a large coach? There are only 34 of us.
We don't have any smaller coaches, I'm afraid.
Oh well. At least we won't be cramped for space. When do we have to pay?
We require a 20% deposit to confirm the booking. I suggest that you do that as soon as possible, today if you can. The balance you can give to the driver if you're paying by cheque. Have the cheque made out to Burnham Coaches.
I think that'll be all right. I will have to check this with the school accountant, but if all is well, I'll arrange for someone to bring you the deposit within the next 2 hours.
That'll be fine, Mr. Scott.
Well, thank you very much indeed. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.